Hey everybody, it's Sheriff Swanson here. I got a crazy cool story for you. I don't know if today maybe you've been struggling or you just feel like you haven't been motivated, or maybe you have someone in your life or in your family that you just need a little bit of advice or a good example of what's to come if you just stay with it. So we're here in the jail on the 3rd floor. I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine. His name is Rob. And his name is Rob Martin, actually. I met him here in the jail, and he's a different guy than he is when I first met him. But I wanted you to meet him personally so we can tell you our story. This is Rob Martin. This is my friend. And we had met because he sent me in jail a paper kite. Remember that?
Yeah.
And a kite in jail is inmates that need to talk to somebody, or they request a medical appointment or something. But you had a different request. Now, mind you, I had seen you perhaps, but I didn't know who you were when you sent me that kite.
Yeah, I had known who you were from the church, from the Point, when we were attending the Point. And I was desperate. It was a shot in the dark. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to send Chris a kite and see what happens. And rest is history.
When you came here, this is what you were wearing.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't wearing that.
No, definitely not.
What happened? How did you get here? You got to hear this story.
So I was in and out of recovery. It was a really cold with the little icicle things on the front of your window. I was going to work and saw the old 475 north sign and ended up going to a dope house, and days ran into days, and I ran out of money, sold all the tools I had in my truck, and then I started doing smash and grabs, and I committed 4 felonies in 3 counties, and I finally got caught. And
what county were you in when you got caught?
Oakland County.
So
I was in Novi.
when you were at the dope house, you were there 24 hours a day.
Yep.
You had tools at one point in the back of your van.
Yep.
And by the time you got out of the house, tools were where?
Who knows?
Stripped.
Yeah.
Did you call your family, call your wife, say, hey,
No.
desperate?
No.
I know this is tough, but I'm telling you, there's people here that can relate to this. When you left the dope house, did you leave because you wanted to do something better, or you left because you wanted to do something else?
Oh, yeah, I was definitely going to cop. There was actually a guy in the house that I was like, hey, I'm going to go do some stuff. And he was like, oh, no, I'm good.
You want to do some stuff for our people. What does that mean?
Go do some thieving.
Yeah.
Trying to get another one any way possible.
Yeah.
So, because that's what we do. When you're in active addiction, no holds, nothing stops you. You do whatever.
Yeah.
Loved ones, everybody else, they all come second.
So you went to 3 different counties, broke into 4 commercial businesses.
Yep.
You came here, and you were on a mat like this, in a cell like this, wearing these oranges.
Yep.
You send me a kite, I come up to you, I've seen the story, let me show you what a kite looks like. Just like that, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was in a pencil you wrote it to me.
Oh, yeah, we can have
Pencil. One of these kites, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right.
Which was shocking, because I really didn't think, I thought there's no way the captain's going to come up here, because you were captain at the time. And then you showed up, and you were like, hey, what can I do for you? And so I kind of started going through my story, and you were like, all right, here's the deal. I want you to go back to your cell, and I want you to pray about what you think you need to do. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That was where I stopped you right away. Because my relationship with God back then and now are way different. So I was like, I don't know how to pray. And I think you were like dumbfounded. Because you looked at me like, what? And so then we have the whole, everything changed at that point. You were like, okay, well, let me explain some stuff to you. And then you kind of got talking about God for a minute. You wrote down Wally Rose's name for Reformers Unanimous. You said you're going to start going here on Friday nights. And I'm like, okay. And and that was it. We parted ways, and then I got stuck in drug court.
Then pause this. This was what year your dope addiction? How long have you been?
11 or 12 years.
And what was your drug of choice?
Heroin.
And how many times have you? Listen to this. How many times have you overdosed?
13. and I've been to 28 treatment centers. Inpatient. I don't know how many outpatient. How much?
Everybody in your life gave up on you.
Pretty much. My wife hadn't yet.
I'm just saying. Except for, you told me the one thing I remember is to break an addict's addiction, they have to think and believe one more person believes in them. And I know this is going to be tough, man, but Tanya never gave up. She wasn't happy, but she's never given up on you.
She never has. She's been my rock.
Yeah.
She really has. And she still gets angry at stuff because, just because the things that happen don't happen anymore, things make her remember that stuff. And we still have issues once in a while, but yeah,
she's stuck with you.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a young boy?
We do.
Robbie?
Yeah.
How old is Robbie?
14.
14.
He remembers coming up here because they were supposed to release me, and I forget what county it was, said, no, we want him to come down here. So, and he remembers you actually getting teary-eyed because he thought he was going to see me and then couldn't. And he remembers that. Wow. He was 3 years old.
In fact, there was a time where after you got out and got into drug court that Robbie was in a race.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And you called me up.
Yeah, I did. And you ran with him. I couldn't.
A 5K.
Yeah.
Suckers beat me. Fast little guy.
Yeah, he is.
But I'm going to tell you, man, when you left here, I remember saying, if you're serious about getting clean, come down and see me. And everything I tell you to do, just do it.
Yeah.
Everything. Because a lot of times when it comes to addicts, they need somebody to build up boundaries around them.
Absolutely.
And be very specific. And I've seen your story 100 times working here, but you were different, bro. And everything that I asked of you, you followed through. Tell people now, when you're talking Reformers Unanimous, it's on Friday nights up at Trinity Baptist Church on Elms Road. How many weeks in a row did you go to Friday night Reformers Unanimous?
27.
27 weeks in a row. Never missed a day.
Never missed a Friday. I think one of the first Fridays I missed was actually, so a year had almost gone by, and I was able to go hunting, which I always, drugs are hunting, and you always take it the worst. And my brother-in-law was excited for me to actually go up north, and so that was the first Friday I missed. But I didn't think, when it was Friday nights, I'm thinking, Friday nights, you got to be out of your mind. And, it's just, you get going, and the people there were phenomenal. Yeah. David Kaufman.
Bless his heart.
Oh, yeah, he was an amazing
Who was an
guy.
addict himself, addicted to cocaine, and then got clean, and then started Reformers Unanimous.
Yeah, started it. Well, Reformers had been around, but he started it here. A really good chapter here and got it rolling. And that was
So we're not even at the good part. You leave here and you get into drug court. And drug court's one of our alternative courts through the courts and the prosecutor's office. Mm-hmm. And you completed your program.
I did.
And
went back to school.
You continue to show different types of progress. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you got back into the workforce.
I did.
You're super handy.
Yeah, I was.
And let me ask you this. What started you as a heroin addict?
So I was a professional athlete, and I got hurt, and one painkiller led to another, just like 1,000 other people it's happened to. Mm-hmm. And I think I just always had an addictive gene, and just took it to the extreme, taking, Vicodin, and then taking Oxycontins, and then, the price was so much, and then it's so much cheaper. You can go to any street corner and, get heroin. It's everywhere.
So you go to drug court, you completed your program. What happens to your 4 felonies?
Well, because I completed drug court, they got expunged, or I think that's what you call it. So that helped immensely, but I think more so because of the things you told me. You told me always to be transparent. And so when I actually started looking for jobs, I had my Michigan State record in a little folder, and I would tell people, hey, this is me, this is who I am. You might as well just look at this now so we don't waste one another's time. And most people, like that they didn't have to find out stuff down the road.
Yeah.
And some people are like, hey, we can't, we're a corporation, they won't let us hire felons. But most people are like, we'll give you a shot. And
you have a pretty good job now?
I do. I work at, we just got bought out again, but I work at Cleveland Cliffs down in Detroit, the old Rouge plant.
Yeah.
I've been there almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in February.
Got your degree?
I do.
You own your house now?
I own a house.
You and your wife and Roger
Couple
all
cars.
doing well? Couple cars?
Yeah, got a handful of
You
keys.
still haven't gotten to the good part yet. When this guy got out and started turning his life around, don't tell him our code word. But do we have a code word?
We do.
And what is that code word used for?
If I ever needed anything, to text your Proverbs 27:13, and
Yeah.
you know, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You know, and it. Thank God I never had to.
Never.
Never had to go that route, but you know, I use, you know, in sponsoring people, you know, you always want to help everybody.
Yeah.
And there's some guys that I've tried to help and they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks my heart, it really does. Because especially in Genesee County, if you want to get clean, it's possible. There are so many options, whether it's Reformers Unanimous or AA or NA or Drug Free All Stars. You know, I'm a member of Drug Free All Stars. We do so much in the community, it's unbelievable. People just want to really want it. If they don't, you know, they're not gonna. You know, they have to want it for themselves, not for moms, dads, kids, whatever.
Yeah.
You know. So.
And since then, we have worked together, and you've told your message to a bunch of people in high school.
Oh boy, a whole bunch.
How many do you think you've talked to?
Closer to 100,000, probably.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I remember the first couple when we were doing, and I was doing the skit.
Yeah.
And they thought I was the drug dealer,
Yeah.
and people were outside waiting, and the sheriff at the time had to go out and say, no,
He's just an act.
he's just an addict, you know. Yeah, that was kind of scary back then. Tiny's like, this is nuts.
Gosh. Well, I'm going to tell you that the best part of us being here today, and I can tell you that his story has encouraged me throughout my whole career, because anybody who watches this and has a heart for people, even people who break your heart, people that you either are related to or friends that just keep doing it over and over, it's tough sometimes to believe one more day that they can change.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in my heart that belief in you, by your wife, by me, and by yourself, has got us to where we are today. Why are we doing this video right now? Listen to this.
Because Monday, Martin Luther King Day, I celebrated 10 years.
10 years, man!
I know, it's crazy.
10 years, a decade of sobriety. I met this guy when I was a captain. And man, I told Rob, don't ever disappoint, because you are the reason why we keep pushing forward, and all these people pour their heart into dope programs to help people. And you get disappointed so many times, but man, just your story, I've been waiting. We've had it in our calendar for years to do this story on the 10-year anniversary.
You know, one of the things is because just think if you'd have thought, oh no, it's just another addict,
Yeah.
I might not be here.
Yeah.
You know, I might be dead.
Well, let me flip it back on you. Just think about you, listen to another guy about another program. It has to work both ways.
It does. And I think the biggest thing, you know, we started this relationship with God that I never had, and then on top of all them other things, I went through the Red Coat program and started preaching into jail and
counseling the inmates.
Counseling. I mean, you would call at random times, like, go see this guy, and I'd go, because that was the deal.
And when you go, you could see that people want it or not. Can't
you? You can tell.
Yeah.
You can. So it's been a blessing all the way around, all the different things that have happened and all the doors that have opened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I can say that I was fortunate enough to be a part of that journey, and I appreciate all of the edification, but watching you is my juice to keep going, because nobody can describe what an addict looks like, because they look like all of us.
Yeah, they do.
And an addict isn't just heroin or oxys or Vicodins, but it's pornography, it's alcohol, it's eating, it's so many, it's things that you do that you feel that if you don't, you will die. And when I see stories like you, I can tell you there's people out here that will see the story of Rob Martin and have hope that the person in their life or themselves can do it. Yeah. And I need you to close us out with a message to the people that are hurting right now. What would you tell them to get them to go one more day?
You know, I don't care where you're at. There's so many avenues and people you can get in touch with. Contact somebody. You can't do this by yourself. You got to have help.
Yeah. And it's my pleasure to be there with them, man.
Absolutely.
Rob Martin, baby, 10 years this week. I'll see you next time.